Hey everybody, we actually have a comic review for once. I don't normally do comic reviews, any reviews. Although I was thinking about doing some book reviews, but I usually don't do this type of thing. I'm just not good at it. It's usually not my thing, but this book was excellent, and it did not get enough support in my opinion, so I just wanted to do a video bragging about it. This is by a Brendan Swan. Is a fantastic book. Brendan's actually someone that I bought art from before. I actually bought this from him, which is a really cool Spider-Man piece and Black Cat. It was just a really beautiful piece, so I bought it from him, and his prices are actually really affordable. And he also sent with it this right here, this page that has a bunch of indie comics Easter eggs. There's a Easter egg for Stardust right there, my first comic, and a few couple friends on here, like Edwin's on here, and I think Lone Star's on here somewhere. Oh yeah, it's up there with Edwin. So there's Lone Star. So there's a couple Easter eggs on here. He sent me this page with the book, which was very cool because he didn't have to do that, but he sent it for free, just being nice. That was pretty cool. So thank you for that, man. But so I figured I would do a review because this book was on time. It was on time and it was quality. And so I backed this, I don't know, how long ago was it? 2 or 3 months ago, maybe? That might be a little too far back, but it said October and it came in October. And he only had like 60-ish backers. It made under $2,000. So I'm a little upset at myself because I wanted to promote him more and I really didn't promote him as much as I wanted to. But this was a fantastic book. He used Comics Wellspring, which is also who I use. So this printing is already quality. It's got a nice cover here. It's sort of glossy, but not quite too glossy. But it's real nice. And let's see, story and art by Brendan Swan. So I'm sort of bad with reviews, but I will try. So it starts out here, and I'm not going to spoil the book, really. I'm just going to talk a little bit about it. So it starts here with this musician. He's at the beach looking for a muse. He's at the beach looking for a muse, and there is this scientist dude that lives next door to him, and he usually he goes for strolls in this dude's garden. He sees somebody up in the window, and he's wondering who it is. He hasn't seen the scientist guy in a while. And I gotta say, I don't read much manga. I've only read Junji Ito horror mangas. I've read probably like 5 or 6 of his horror mangas, and I feel a lot of manga influence on this book. First of all, in the black and white style, I really like that. I prefer for a comic with this sort of tone for it to be black and white. And also with the word bubbles, that's something I like with the mangas I have read is that they do these giant word bubbles. I just love giant word bubbles. It has, 6 words in there in one giant word bubble. I just like that style. But so he goes and of course he trespasses. And then he goes on some adventure inside and finds a big mess. And he finds a recording here of the scientist and finds out a whole bunch of information, which I don't want to spoil for you guys, but and that's as far as I'm going to go into the book. Only a few pages in. It's like 40 pages or so. 40 pages, a lot of stuff happens. And I just talked to Brendan on Twitter, and he said there is going to be a book 2 sometime next year. He said it's going to be even longer. He said right now he's planning for it to be about 160 pages for the next book. So that's a giant step up from this book. And if he's going to do such a big book, he's got to get a lot more support. So you guys, I want you all to go to Twitter and find Brendan Swan. I think it's just Brendan_Swan is his handle on Twitter. Everyone go follow Brendan, support his art. He has a Patreon. I don't think he has a YouTube channel, but he has a Patreon. And he's on Twitter, of course, like I said. So give him a follow, support his Patreon. I have a Patreon too that's down in the description. Support both of us on Patreon. But we got to show Brendan some love. This was a fantastic book. He delivered on time. A lot of these smaller guys deserve a lot more attention because, like I said, this was quality. He delivered on time. And I never shill for somebody if I don't want to. I don't get paid for any shills. No one ever tells me to I never get told to shill for someone and accept it for any amount of money or anything. I only will promote a product if I'm actually into it, if I actually think it's cool. I can't be bribed. So this is honestly just my honest word on things. I usually don't do reviews of any sort. Well, that's wrong because I did do some movie reviews, but those weren't really that well accepted. But anyways, guys, Strangelove, I Want to Be Chrome. It is a really fun book. It's a horror book with like a love story sort of horror thing. If you like Junji Ito, if you like his horror, it's not as gory, but it gave me that same kind of vibe. So if you like Junji Ito, you definitely like this. If you like great storytelling, you'll like this. If you like great art, you'll like this. If there's anything you like about indie comics or horror comics or anything, this is definitely the book for you. It's just fantastic art. It's on a technical aspect, the art is fantastic. The people look beautiful. It is just so well drawn. And it really does give off that manga vibe. Although I've only read Junji Ito mangas, it does remind me of Junji Ito in a lot of ways. In the dialogue, the pacing, the storytelling, what he does with the panels. It is just a really fun book on every sort of level. So, guys, I definitely recommend Strangelove. His Indiegogo did end. It did end. So I don't know if he has extras, but if he has extras, I definitely recommend that you hit up Brendan Swan and see if he has an extra, because this is a fantastic book. And keep an eye out, because he did say book 2 is coming next year, you guys. So anyways, that is all for this video. And don't forget, down in the description, I have my own books for sale. I have 3 books on Amazon. A short story collection called The Eclipse Theater, a horror novel called Eternity. Let's get the camera into focus. And then a horror comedy called Duality. So all those are down in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know, maybe we'll have some more review videos coming soon on my channel. But we'll see how that goes. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more reviews like this. But this is definitely a fantastic book, and I recommend it to everybody.